So today's session is going to be predominantly set up to help people in the seated position. Don't think that that's going to take away from your drills if you're more than physically capable. We can crank it up a lot, so don't think that this is going to be an easy workout still. Alrighty, with that said, as you can see, I actually have an actual chair this morning, and let's grab our 2 sticks. So we'll set up to start with our feet in the normal progression, and then we'll have a seat. So let's go ahead and set our feet about shoulder width apart, sticks in line with the toes, move them forward about 8 to 10 inches, reach up at the top. Today, let's take a bar grip. So we're going to reach our fingers right at the top versus a rope grip. And hang. So that way we can work those fingers, get those fingers to wake up, and bring our heels up. Remember, at the top of this position, we want to make sure that we have our weight centered on the balls of the feet. Back down. Back up. Spend some time there. Remember, no going way out to the little toes. No over collapsing in on the big toes. Back down. Back up. Back down. Back up. Back down. One more. Back up. And now keep those heels up. Now let's work that frontal plane. Shift your weight to the right. So as you can see, the sticks are tilting a little bit. Weight is on the right arm. Right little toe, left big toe. My knees are facing forward. No rotation of the hips. Shift sideways to the left. Left hand, left arm line is feeling more load. Left little toe, right big toe. Roll to the right. We're rolling through the balls of the feet or the power pads of the feet. Shift to the left. Make sure you're looking down at your legs. No rotation. One more to each side. One more to the left. Back to center. And relax. All right. Go ahead and put that stick down back over here. And let's have our seat right here. Okay. First thing we're going to do, let's warm those shoulders up. Stick is across the sternum. Sit on the edge of the chair. Don't sit all the way back. Palms facing forward, head up, and start to kayak. Looking down river. Oops, guess I gotta move my chair forward a little bit more here. You should feel that front part of the arm line shortening the stick. You want to get those shoulder blades gliding along the rib cage. Elbow stays straight. And now reverse. Remember, it's just a back stroke. You want to feel the scapula gliding, retracting, or pulling backwards. You should feel the back of your arms pulling that stick apart. The posterior or back arm line is what's driving this motion. As you can see in the seated position, it takes away some compensations. It keeps your hips locked in. Breathe. And relax. Okay. Now, let's add some spinal rotation. Same position. Stick across the sternum, parallel to the floor. Look straight ahead so we get some disassociation between your neck and your thoracic spine. Move the stick to the left. Keep looking straight ahead and don't let the hips slide forward. So what will happen is your right knee will want to shift forward. Prevent that from happening by pushing that left foot into the floor. Your left foot is actually preventing that sliding of the hips. Move the stick to the right. Now you're pushing that right foot into the floor to prevent that sliding of the hips. Remember, you're keeping your head facing forward. Back to the right. Back to the left. One more to the right. Back to center and relax. Okay, overhead dislocates. Take your hands nice and wide. Remember, stay within where you're comfortable. So don't take anything to the point of pain. Make sure your pinkies stay firmly in contact with the stick when we go into these overhead dislocates. Pull apart on the stick at about 30 to 40% tension. Nice tall spine. So try to imagine someone has a string and is pulling your spine up to the ceiling. Pull and then bring your hands overhead. And hold. Breathe. Head stays above the shoulders. Don't push your head forward. Keep your elbows straight. Ribs stay down. Now, slowly come back to your starting position. You're still pulling apart on the stick. When you see the stick in your peripheral line of sight, push in. You're trying to shorten the stick now. It's a 6-foot stick, so you're trying to make it 5.5 feet in length. All the way down. You'll feel that front arm line. Go ahead, relax. We're going to do that again. Ready? Pull. Remember, if you have really great range of motion, simply bring your hands in closer together towards your midline. It'll challenge you a little bit more. Breathe. Don't get into the lumbar spine by flaring the rib cage. Even though we're in the seated position, we still need to keep those ribs locked down. Full inhale, full exhale through the stomach. Bring back to the starting position nice and slow. When you see the stick in your peripheral line of sight, shorten the stick. Breathe. Let's go one more rep. Ready? Pull. Up and over. Try to come back a little bit farther than you did the first couple times. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Come back up and over, nice and easy. When you see the stick in your peripheral line of sight, shorten the stick. And relax. Nice. Okay, now let's grab both your sticks. We're going to get some internal, external rotation, some hip flexion. So once again, the seated position will help take away some compensations that commonly take place when we're standing in the upright position, because some people may not have the body awareness to understand that they're actually doing a lot of compensating. So let's bring our feet together, sit right on the edge of the chair. I should say your feet are about 3 to 4 inches apart. Sticks at 11 and 1. Hands chest level. Push the sticks down into the floor at about 40 to 50% tension. You're going to feel the lats engage, shoulders pull down, nice tall spine. And now let's bring your right hip up a little bit higher into flexion. Don't lean back when you do this. You should be feeling all of these tissues right here on this right leg. Tall spine, no flexing. And now slowly extend the foot. Try to keep that flexion in that anterior angle. Nice and tall. Breathe. Bring your leg back down and relax. Okay, here we go to the other side. Ready? 40, 50% tension into the floor. Bring your left hip up into flexion and hold. Remember, you're trying to imagine that you're pulling your knee up to meet your chest without folding your chest forward. Now slowly extend the left foot. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Nice tall spine. Pull your foot back and relax. Let's do that one more time to each side. Ready? Drive the sticks into the floor. Let's go about 50-60% tension this time, just a little bit more. Bring your right hip up into flexion and extend the foot. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Bring your foot back and down. Ready? One more. Here we go. Push. Bring that left hip up into flexion. Extend the foot. Full inhale, full exhale. Breathe. Bring your foot back and relax. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on some internal, external rotation. So let's bring our left leg out to the side a little bit and move the sticks over just a little. So your femur, your right femur, is directly equal distance between both sticks. Hands extended, chest level still. Make sure the bottom of the sticks are at about mid-foot on that right foot. Push the sticks into the floor about 50% tension. Bring your right hip up into flexion. And now, internal rotation, tap the right stick, sorry. Now, tap the left. Keep the femur right in the middle, so the femur is not swinging out to the sides towards the sticks. Back to the front, or to the right, left stick. Internal rotation, external rotation. If you have problems getting to one of the sticks, move just that stick closer to your center line. So decrease the angle. Back to center and relax. Switch legs. So we're going to push that right leg out to the side a little bit. Shift the sticks over. Make sure the sticks are at the mid-foot. And then move them out a little bit. Make sure the upper left leg bone is equal distance between both sticks. Push the sticks into the floor, 50% tension. Bring the left hip up into flexion. Internally rotate. Externally rotate. Internal. External. Internal. External. You should feel a difference from one hip to the other. And it's not always on the same movement. Our movement patterns dictate different abilities on each hip. Back to external, back to center, and relax. Now we're going to work on abduction, adduction. So let's go back to the right leg. Kick your left leg out to the side a little bit. Sticks at about 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. Make sure the bottom of the sticks are mid-foot on that right foot. Hands chest level. Push the sticks into the floor about 50% tension. Bring your right hip up into flexion. Now, push the whole leg out to the side and apply tension. Breathe. Nice tall spine. Now, bring your leg across and push. Your torso stays facing forward. So now you're using your adductors or your inner thigh tissues. Bring your leg out to the side, push. Now you're using your outer hip. Your upper and lower leg bones stay stacked on top of each other. Now bring your leg across, push. One more. Back out to the side, push. Back across, push. Back to center and relax. Switch positions. Move your right leg out to the side. Shift the sticks over a little bit. So the left femur is right equal distance between both sticks. Nice tall spine. Push those sticks into the floor about 50-60% tension. Bring your left hip up into flexion. Push the whole entire leg out to the left stick. So you're pushing with that whole outer hip complex. And now pull across and push. Your upper and lower leg bones stay stacked on top of each other. So So what I mean is none of this, all right? Open the door. It's just like a door opening and closing. The whole door moves as one unit. It's not a Dutch door that has a split top and a split bottom. Close the door, push. I do like those types of doors, but for right now, we just want a good old-fashioned single-piece wood door. Open the door, push. A lot of talk about doors, huh? Close the door. Back to center and relax. Okay. One stick down. This is going to be a good one. You're going to enjoy this one. This is going to really work on this whole anterior tissue, especially up through here. Place the stick right on top of the right foot. Okay? Right hand only. You can stack both hands if you want. If you want a little more pressure, you can stack both hands. But for most people, just use your right hand. Push the stick down into the top of the foot. Try to pull the toes or that right foot up toward your shin bone. That's your dorsiflexion. Now, hover the foot. You should feel all of this tissue all the way down from the top of the foot all the way to the top of the hip. Pushing down still at about 50 to 60%. Maintain that tension as you extend that right leg. Of course, the stick is going to shift angle. You're still driving down into the toes, and you're going to feel all this really crank up. Flex the knee. Keep that hip up. Keep that foot up off the floor. And again, extend the leg. You're driving that stick into the top of the foot. Don't lean back. Flex the knee and relax. It may have been a little bit more challenging than you expected. All right? Switch sides. We have the stick on top of the left foot. Left hand is about chest level. Push the stick down into the foot at about 50 to 60% tension. Push back with the toes. So you're trying to pull the left toes up towards the left shin bone. Flex the left hip just a little so the foot just barely hovers off the floor, about an inch or two. Maintain that drive down and now slowly extend the left knee. Stay nice and tall, nice tall spine, no leaning back. Breathe. Flex the knee. Keep that foot up off the floor though. And again, rep 2. Extend the knee. Keep pushing that stick down into the top of the foot. Flex the knee again. And relax. Bet you'd like to do that again. All right, now this time let's do both feet together. Grab both sticks. We're going to do a couple of seated toy soldiers, and then we're going to add in the quad extension. So we're going to add in the seated toy soldiers. Set your feet up, heels stay flat, hands chest level. Push both sticks down into the tops of the feet. You're driving back with the toes. Now just lift your right leg. You're trying to push the top of the stick up to the ceiling. You're driving that stick down, back down, and now switch. Nice tall spine. Back down, back up. You should be feeling that deep front line. All your core tissue is working hard right now. Back down, back up. Back down, switch. Tall spine, no leaning back. Keep those ribs connected to the hips. One more. And relax. So you can get a lot of core work done even just sitting down, all right? It's just giving the right feedback and the right input, or getting the right feedback and giving in the right input. Okay, ready? Now we're gonna go into the leg extension. Here we go. Push, bring your right leg up, hover that foot, and slowly extend the right knee. Nice tall spine, no leaning back. Soften the right knee, back down. Now the left side. Slowly extend the left leg. Flex the left knee, back down. 2 more to each side. Breathe. Back down. Left, hover, extend. Remember, you're driving that stick down into the top of the foot. Back down. 1 more. Ready? Push. Down. Left. And relax. Now, next thing we're going to do is this little single leg training from the seated position. I'm going to turn the chair a little bit so you can see a side profile. I'm going to bring my left foot forward, and by doing this, I'm going to require more demand on just my right leg. Sit on the mid part of the chair. Don't sit all the way back. Sticks are at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. Move your foot wherever you feel comfortable on that right foot, but make sure your right heel can stay flat on the floor. For someone like myself that has really good dorsiflexion ability, I can pull my foot way underneath me. For most people, you're going to have your foot a little bit farther out. Okay, head up, chest up. The sticks are there just to help add a little bit of more stability, and so it can help you actually drive and engage the upper body just a little bit, but don't be too dependent on that upper body. Head up, push the sticks into the floor, about 50% tension. Push that right foot into the floor and drive yourself up. Nice and easy. Now, here's the fun part. Slowly come back down. Push the left heel into the floor. Nice. Imagine that there's an egg on that chair and you don't want to break it when you come back down. Here we go. Ready? Push that right foot into the floor. Drive yourself all the way up. And then nice and slow. Let's go 1 more. Ready? Push. You're pushing that floor away from you with that right foot. And now back down. Nice and easy. Nice and slow. Excellent. Switch legs. So bring your left foot back. Make sure it's in the same position as your right foot as far as toe placement is concerned. Now, extend the right leg out so your right heel is on the floor. Hands chest level still. Push the sticks into the floor, about 50% tension. And now drive that left foot into the floor. Drive yourself up. And now down slowly. Push the right heel into the floor to help you out. Come down slow. Don't break those eggshells. Okay, ready? Here we go. Push. And now down slow. Use those sticks, but try not to use them too much. 1 more. Ready? Push. And now down slow. Breathe. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Holding the breath is a really big compensation that a lot of people do. They don't even realize it. All right? So, like I like to say, there's only 2 places you should be holding your breath. That's underwater, or if you're caught in a fire and you don't want your head in the top of that smoke, right? Okay. Now, we're going to work the pec, one side at a time. So, face the wall. Turn your chair so you're facing the wall. My elbow is slightly less than 90 degrees. This is a great way to train if you have some wrist issues, because you can self-regulate on how much pressure you can put in to really help gradually load the wrist. From this position, tall spine, take your left hand and place it right on your pec so you can feel the tension and you can feel the tissue working. Push the stick into the wall, so right now I'm actively pushing that stick down into the base of that platform. I'm pushing it about 50% tension to 60%. Now, shift your weight forward. I'm actively trying to reach my torso or my sternum towards that end point of the stick. Keep your left hand on your right pec so you can feel that tissue tension. You feel that lengthen? And now push yourself back up with that right hand. Nice tall position. You feel that pec working? Let's do that again. Let's push it about 70 to 80% tension. Let's push it a little bit harder this time. Breathe. And now drive. Push. One more. Ready? Breathe. And now push. Push harder. You're trying to push that wall away from you. And relax. Let's switch hands. Shift that chair over a little bit if you need to. Okay, so now you're on your left arm. So I don't have 90 degrees on the elbow. I have a little less flexion. Okay, hand is just about chest level. Place your right hand on your left pectoral muscle. Push that stick into the base of the floor at about 50 to 60% tension. And now shift your weight, so push your sternum towards that base of the wall. You're going to feel that lengthening through that left pec. And now drive, push that stick harder into the wall as you come back up. Okay, ready? Rep 2. Push a little bit harder this time. You're driving in at about 60 to 70% tension. Hold, breathe. Drive that stick into the wall harder. Push yourself back up. One more. Here we go. Ready? Breathe, hold. You should feel your scapula retracted towards your spine. And now push, drive. Give me 80% tension. Push, push, push. And relax. All righty. So that was working the pectoral area. Okay. Whew. So even seated, you can get a damn good workout. Just need to know how to stimulate the right tissues, give it the correct input, and you get amazing feedback and amazing output. So we're going to be seated on the chair right now, and we're going to do some hanging. Place the stick at 3 o'clock, right next to your right hip. Reach up at the top of the stick. We have a rope grip, and now all we're going to do is simply just let our sternum fall forward just a little bit. So let your sternum fall forward and down. Imagine you're trying to do a little crunch. And as you do that, you start to feel that right arm essentially hang. Breathe. Now at 40% tension, I want you to push that stick into the floor with that right hand. You're really going to feel this right lat, right scapula, all those subscapular tissues really engaging. You're going to feel your grip strength on that right side engage a little bit more. Take that left hand and reach forward. And as you shift forward, you should feel a reaction and an adjustment in that right shoulder slot. Come back. You're still pushing that stick into the floor. Reach across to your right. Reaching. You're trying to reach to 3 o'clock. Back to center. And now behind you. Push that left foot into the floor so your hips do not slide. Back to center and relax. Let's switch sides. Stick is at 9 o'clock. Reach that left hand up. And now drop your torso, perform that little crunch, and pull your sternum forward. You're going to feel that chain reaction, that automatic response to that left arm line. Now at 40% tension, I want you to push the stick into the floor with that left hand. You should feel the lat, all the tissues of the rib cage area contracting, subscapular tissues, and breathe. Now with that right hand, reach forward. Breathe. Come back. Now, let's reach to the left. You're trying to reach to 9 o'clock. As you reach, you should feel a reaction or a reflexive movement through that left shoulder. You're probably feeling that shoulder blade pull in towards your spine right now. And that will help allow you to increase that range of reach. Come back to center. And now behind you, 6 o'clock. Push that right foot into the floor so that the hips do not slide. Back to center. And relax. All right. Increasing thoracic rotation a little bit. Place the stick once again at 9 o'clock, but let's move it about 6 inches away, maybe even a little less than that. Let's move the hand, reach the hand out to right to 3 o'clock position, top of the head level. Push the stick into the floor, about 30% tension, and now reach for the floor with that left hand. You're going to feel that stretch through the right pec. Come back up. If that was a little easy for you, then simply move your hand up a little bit higher. Push the stick into the floor at 30%, 40% tension, and again, reach for the floor. Keep that right arm at 3 o'clock. Do not let it slide forward. And now reach across to your 3. Reach, reach. Back to center. Let's do that one more time. Ready? Push the stick into the floor, 30% tension, and reach for the floor with that left hand. And now reach across with that left hand. Try to reach a little bit further. Back to center. And let's switch sides. So the stick is at 9 o'clock, about 6 inches away from your side. Let's lift that hand up, left hand 9 o'clock position, just above head level. Push the stick into the floor, about 30-40% tension, and hinge. Reach for the floor with that right hand. Keep that left hand at 9 o'clock. And now reach across. Reach. Reach. Reach a little bit farther. Back to center. Come back up. If that was nice and easy for you, slide the hand up a little bit higher. Here we go. Ready? 30-40% tension. Push. And now hinge. Reach. And now to your left. You're reaching out to 9 o'clock. Full inhale. Full exhale. Back to center. One more time. Here we go. Ready? Reach for the floor first. And now reach across your body to the left, reaching out to 9 o'clock. Back to center. And relax. Whew. As you can see, you're going to get a pretty good butt kicking just being from a seated position also. Now, let's go into our lateral line tissues, all right? So, move this seat forward so I don't hit that stanchion. I'm going to place the stick at 3 o'clock. Right elbow is about 90 degrees. I'm going to push that stick into the floor. I'm going to reach over the top with that left hand. So the stick is at 3 o'clock and it's about a good foot or so away from my chair. All right? So I'm going to push my ribs out to the side. My hips are locked in, so this version here is going to get much more into the lateral tissues of the ribs. So I'm pushing my ribs out to 9 o'clock, and now I'm going to drive both arms out to my 3. Ease off. Rotate the stick slightly so that it's in, so you're not flexing in the same position all the time, same direction. Push your ribs out to 9 o'clock first, and then extend both arms away from you. Let your head tilt. Ease off. One more time. Rotate the stick slightly. Here we go. Push your ribs out, and then extend the arms away from you. Breathe. And relax. Let's switch sides. Stick is at 9 o'clock. Left elbow is about 90 degrees. Reach over the top with that right hand. Push your ribs out to 3 o'clock first, and then extend both arms away from you. Ease off. Ready? Rotate the stick slightly. And again, push your ribs out to 3 o'clock first, and then drive both arms away from you. Breathe. Ease off. One more rep. Here we go. Ready? Push your ribs out first, and then drive the stick away from you. Breathe. Let your head tilt, and relax. Nice. Now, next thing we're going to do, last thing we're going to do, is open up the front tissues here of the hip. So we want to grab both sticks again. I'll take a little side angle so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to slide my butt over to the edge of the chair. So I want just my right butt cheek on the edge of that seat. I'll take my left foot, I'm going to extend it back. And I want my toes in the floor. Sticks at 11 and 1. I'm going to push the sticks into the floor. Hands are about chest level. Push the sticks down about 40% tension. Squeeze that left glute and give me a posterior pelvic tuck. And what that means is I'm trying to push the bottom of my hip forward and pull the top of my hip back. So I'm going in a rotational position. Squeezing that butt, pushing the toes into the floor. Breathe. You should actually feel that up through the front of the hip. Ease off. And let's do that again. If you can, move your foot back a little bit farther. Ready? Push the sticks into the floor, about 40% tension. Squeeze that left glute and give me a posterior pelvic tuck. Try to keep the weight centered on the back foot. Ease off. So same as when we work the toes in the start of the workout, where we talk about balancing the weight on the middle of the foot versus being off to the little toe or back in on the big toe too much. Make sure you're doing the same thing on this. Okay, ready? Last one. Push the sticks into the floor, about 40% tension. Push the back toes into the floor, squeeze that left glute, and give me a posterior pelvic tuck. Breathe. And relax. Nice. Now I'm going to switch sides. I'll shift my chair around so you can see where I'm doing. My left butt cheek is the only thing on the seat right now. My right foot is back. Start with a small angle before we start to really open it up. Sticks at 11 and 1, hands chest level. Push the sticks down into the floor about 40%. Push the right toes into the floor at 40%. Squeeze that right glute and give me a posterior pelvic tuck. Breathe. Ease off tension. If that felt fine, move your foot back a little bit farther. Here we go, ready? 40% tension, push. Squeeze that right glute, posterior pelvic tuck. Remember, the bottom of the hip is rolling forward, the top of the hip is going back. When the front of that hip starts talking to you, you know you're in the right position. Ease off. One more, ready? Here we go. 40% tension, push. Squeeze that right glute, posterior pelvic tuck. Full inhale, full exhale. And relax. Whew. Great work today, everybody. Once again, for you trainers and coaches out there, remember that the vast majority of people that you're going to be dealing with are general population people that have a lot of issues through the hips, a lot of issues through the feet. So being on their feet may not be something that's easy for them. If you want more information on how to train feet, either as a coach or a trainer, or just as an end user, if you're just someone that bought sticks and loves the program, I suggest checking out Dr. Emily Splickle, Evidence-Based Fitness Academy, ebfa.com, or our friends up north in Ottawa, the Foot Collective. Optimize Ottawa, great Nick and Mike, great physios. They'll really teach you, all three of those people will teach you some really good things on how to strengthen and bring function back to your foot instead of just slapping orthotics on and sending you out your merry way, all right? For the rest of you, please check out our YouTube channel. We have tons of exercises out there that you can utilize. We also have some new podcasts coming up. I hope Neil and I are bringing you some value on maybe some new methodologies or some new perspectives that maybe you haven't thought about and how to approach your training protocols. For the rest of you, thank you very much. We will be back here tomorrow, 9 a.m. again. Question and answer period for an hour here on Instagram Live. If I don't see you tomorrow for that, I will see you guys Tuesday morning. Until then, peace. Be good to each other.